didn't look brilliant today, and I want to touch on them as well today. David, Chelsea 1-0 up against Brighton, but I don't know if I've ever seen a team at Stamford Bridge dominate you like that.
It was so bad. It was so bad. They had like 70% of the ball. They were just passing it around. I was just watching like, this is peak. I can't, I wasn't expecting much. But like, for Brighton to dominate the ball like that against us is, that's rough. But you know what? When Frank Lampard's in charge and you've got people saying this is good for the club and blah, 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 and they're actually excited about the football that they were going to see, this is what they deserve. I wasn't excited about the football. I was just like, well, at least the fans won't boo him at Stamford Bridge. I might be wrong about that because we've now lost 3 in a row. And I know people that might start doing that. And if they start booing Frank, this club might really be in the toilet. It might be because the man were so like in love with Frank when he was there the first time. So I thought there was no way, no matter what happened. But the football is awful. It's tough to watch. This is the first game I watched in 2 weeks. And I hope that I have more busy Saturdays and Sundays because I don't want to watch this again.
Don, I mean, I assume you concur. I mean, it's 3 games with Lampard. He was meant to galvanise you, make you play better football, and you're getting worse.
Yeah. I said from the beginning, I said to all rivals that kept asking me, why have you guys brought in Frank? And the first thing I said is he's been brought in purely for vibes, right? Because it's been so toxic, especially when you go to the games and you can feel how negative it's been with Potter there. So they had to make a change. But on the pitch, what I did say is you're not going to see a difference at all because Graham Potter is a better coach than Frank Lampard. And he was doing nothing when he was here. First game against Wolves, he goes to a back 4. We've been horrendous all season in the back 4. He goes to a back 5. We improve a little bit against Madrid for 15 minutes. But again, the whole team's clueless. He goes back to a back 4 again today. He plays Chalobah out of position, we haven't really seen Chalobah this half of the season, to be fair. He got absolutely just embarrassed by Mitoma. I know Mitoma is one of the best dribblers in the league, but he got embarrassed. You had Fofana, had another poor game. Badiashile, you can see that the rust is there because he hasn't been playing much again. We're just not good in a back 4, and we're not going to be good in a back 4 until we actually sort out a CDM or get a 6 that can hold that position and be a bit of an anchor. Because Zakaria was meant to play that role today, and he was just a hologram, Terry. Like, he was doing nothing, offering nothing on the pitch. Enzo was just getting blitzed by Caicedo any chance that he got. It reminded me a bit of when Herrera done a job against Hazard that game when we played you guys, where he was just man-marking him the whole game. Caicedo wasn't letting Enzo breathe. And he had to come off just because we wasn't going to get a result. So I think 2-1 is a shit result. I didn't expect anything different, but at least it's not worse because it could have been worse. As soon as I saw Welbeck come on, I said, yeah, it's peak. He's going to score against us again. He done the same thing a couple of seasons ago. Last minute, scored a header, and he done the same thing again today. So look, it's peak. And I'm not going to blame Kepa because no keeper's saving that. But again, how many more long shots is he going to concede? He gets violated week after week. We just look so disjointed, man. There's no coaching. You can see it. It's so clear that these guys have no idea what they're doing. Absolutely no idea. The only bright spark I would say today was Mudryk. He actually looked quite good on the ball. He got the assist for the goal that we scored. It was quite lucky, to be fair. But apart from that, there was nothing in the game. It was just the same old. I'm just repeating myself, Terry. Like, I'm not expecting anything different because Frank Lampard isn't a good manager. He's not a good coach, but he's not bringing vibes like they said he would. So it is what it is, man. I've checked out. I'm done.
The vibes aren't there because he got sacked because he killed the vibe. It's the weirdest notion in the world that he was going to come back. And proper Chelsea like him. But who listens to proper Chelsea? No one listens to those. Oh yeah, anyone who walks around with their farts smelling like jelly deals, no one's going to listen to those opinions. Like,
it was so delusional. Like, people, grown men on Twitter, are starting conversations about, if Frank does number 3, does he deserve to stay? And I was like, have you not learned anything from Man United when they had Oli winning from vibes and what he'd done after that and set them back so many years, so many months? It's madness. Like, I just look at it today and there's just nothing going on. So. I predicted we'd lose today, to be honest.
I hear that. How about yourself, Matt? I mean, your guy Kepa had made some brilliant saves, but just another devastating day to be a Chelsea fan.
I mean, first on Kepa, it comes down to he ain't saving that. There's no way no one's saving that. But it comes down to also, if you know your keeper can't save long shots, you don't give so much space to midfielders. But that same problem, and it just comes down to a whole collective. And it's really embarrassing to see these Chelsea fans accepting defeats like this. Like I'm up here at 3 a.m. somehow still watching this game. I don't know why I'm here. I said I'm not going to watch it, but then I somehow come up and watch it. And it's embarrassment to those players on the pitch. They're earning 70, 80 grand a week, and they're there fucking with their heads down, just waiting to go home and make the next TikTok dance like Mason Mount is. And all these players like that, they're embarrassing. Chalobah's here, right? First game is 6-7 games. And it's just a different lineup every game. As I said, I mentioned Chalobah. First game he's played in about 7 or 8 games consistently. Like, with just no tactics, there's no lineups, there's no nothing. Everyone's just there. And you could see at the 60th minute, I think someone from the Leicester went down. And I see Kepa telling everyone what to do for lineups. Like, when your players are starting to tell you what to do for tactics, that is just shambolic. It's honestly embarrassing. And this Chelsea team is an absolute embarrassment. You got Todd Bowie now apparently going to the dressing room. I wonder what he's going to say now, because he's the one who started all this absolute mess. Todd Bowie is an absolute disgrace. Everyone's blaming Lampard. I said Lampard will not fix this. I said Lampard will make us worse, and I got absolutely deluded from it. I got you're clueless, you're this, you're that. Terry, you said before who believes he's proper Chelsea fans, and I'll tell you who believes proper Chelsea fans. Todd Bowie, because this guy believes everything that they want. And look what they want: a Mudryk, they got Mudryk. They want a Frank Lampard, they got Frank Lampard. They only got Frank Lampard to make the fans clap at halftime. I used to sit here in 2013, 2014. I used to wake up and watch the best 10 goals of the month, right? Now we can't even score 1 goal a month to even make that compilation. It's an absolute embarrassment. I can't wait for a manager to come in.
Sorry to interject. David, didn't you tell us a stat earlier that Mudryk is the highest goal assister at Chelsea this season?
Yeah.
2 assists.
When you talk about making an impact at a club, he's made an impact, because to get 2 assists, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, you don't say 2 assists. You don't say 2 assists. What you say is no player at Chelsea has more assists this season than Mudryk. You've got to play
That's
the
true. I should have done that.
Yeah,
I'm using that.
You know how
because genuinely, this in that game, he was the only person who I looked at and went, "Oh, there's a player there." The only one. All the rest of them just useless. Couldn't do anything.
Did anyone else see Enzo at left back? I saw Enzo at left back. I see Zachariah at right wing, except for the midfield. And it comes down to these absolute tactics.
In the middle.
Yeah, and there's a big hole. And I thought Zachariah was stepped out. I said last week on Zachariah play, but I'm taking back everything I said there. That was a disgrace for me, because Zachariah showed today was an absolute hole in the middle of the compartment again. The midfield was wide open. I see Enzo left back. I see Chilwell left wing, and I'm like, it's everywhere. It's all over the place. And this Lampard shit with tactics, it's nowhere to be seen. It's nowhere to be seen.
Where are the triangles, man?
Where's the hexagon?
No.
Where's the hexagon?
I think we called them the inverted hexagon formation.
It's an octagon or something like that he had. It was some octagon stupid formation. Man.
Jess, I want to ask you a question as a rival. Someone's touching their microphone a bit. If you could just try and refrain from that or mute your mic, that'd be amazing for me. It makes a lot of noise in the background. Thank you. Do you think Chelsea can turn this? Is it just about bringing in the right manager, or are we seeing the destruction of Chelsea before our very eyes?
I don't think anything is ever as simple as just bringing in the right manager. I think everything kind of has to be, if Chelsea want to get back to where they feel like they should be, winning titles, Champions League, all that kind of stuff, I think you have to do more than just have a good manager. Like, everything needs to be singing from the same hymn sheet. And earlier on, when we were talking about Bowley, the whole excitement around Todd Bowley was that he talked a good game and he would spend a lot of money, but almost everybody's ownership spends a lot of money. So it's definitely more than that. And Chelsea have known over the years that spending money is not the only thing. Yes, you guys have been successful, but in more recent times, it's really been Manchester City doing the business, So I think, at least domestically. So I think from a Chelsea perspective, it's more than the manager. Bowley has to get every single, appointment correct. Everything in the back room has to be right. And it's not just as easy as going to Brighton and taking everybody that they have, implementing it and say, now do it here. And I think his lack of, experience in English football is what makes me think that, okay, he thinks he knows everything. He lacks experience. He's arrogant. He's made a couple of mistakes already. Is this Chelsea going in the right direction and will eventually get it right because they're going to spend money? Or are you going into your Glazer era? Because at this point, for me, it looks like it could go either way. Where in the beginning we said, of course they'll get it right. It's Chelsea. I'm not sure it's 100% like that's going to happen. And so, yeah, the manager is important, but if the manager has Bowley behind him, trying to control who he puts out there on the pitch, is buying players that don't fit his system, is willing to sack him without actually, backing what because they said that they were in with Potter to the long, for the long haul, and they sacked him. So you can't trust anything that they say. So yeah, they can bring in a great manager, but we've all had good managers before that didn't work out because everything behind the scenes wasn't working. So yeah, you can bring in Luis Enrique, but Bowley has to get it right.
I totally agree with that. And I mean, we look at today's game in isolation, and what AMT said here is right. Before the winning goal, 24 shots to 4 in Brighton's favour at home. I don't just believe that's because Lampard's the manager or Potter's the manager. It's a systematic breakdown of the culture,
Haaland scored,
the mentality, and the mentality of the football club.